like to introduce the next speaker, which is Mr. Dan Plowman. Hello, Dan.
Hey, how are you?
I'm very well.
Hi,
Good to
Dan.
see you.
Welcome,
Thank
Dan.
Mr. Dan Plowman is the founder and president at Dan Plowman Coaching. He's a real estate coaching and training. He has a real estate coaching and training company based in Toronto, focused on teaching real estate agents to create exponential wealth, abundance, and enjoy a lifestyle of their choosing. His team is among top teams in Canada, and his topic is today is win multiply offers. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty hot topic. Pat, thanks for the opportunity today. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Dan.
So I have a training company. We work with people right across North America. We've done this now for 15 years. For the last decade or more, I guess it's 11 or 12 years now, we've managed to run a real estate brokerage that's specific for my team as well. And the nice thing about running a team currently is, it affords me the opportunity to sell a house every day, which is great. But the nice thing about having a team that is in the trenches doing the work every day, because things change so quickly in our industry, having a training company and helping people do what we do turnkey wouldn't have been possible without being able to actually be active in the industry. That's my belief. That's what I'm a firm believer that, it's difficult to teach and train and help people do this business unless you're currently actively in it. I appreciate that there's a lot of coaches and trainers that train and teach, and that's awesome. But for us, a turnkey opportunity for people to have exactly what we do that allows me to sell a home every day is really our unique selling proposition as a coaching and training company. So I encourage you to go to danplowmancoaching.com, take a look at some of the products that we have. We have a product for everyone. I find that people are ready for training at different phases in their business. We work with people and they usually start coaching with us once they hit that 30 to 40 deal a year mark, minimally, before they take on, the expense of the coaching monthly. And I find to get them there has been a gap and sometimes often left for people to just fend for themselves. And we've developed a product called Point One Training, which is an online learning module, which is very affordable, which gives you contact not only with myself regularly, but it allows you to be in the loop and gets you to those 30 ends quicker than not. Again, giving you the things that we do specifically turnkey, from lead generation and conversion, so that you can get there. Of course, once you're there, we're going to help you with the training to ensure that your team grows and develops. We've worked with teams and taken them from 30, 40 ends right up to over 500 many, many times. We're excited to continue to do that. Our retention of people that work with us is extremely high for a reason. They stay with us because they continue to grow. But enough of that, enough of the coaching plug and the training. I know I was asked for a specific reason to come here today to help you potentially in a market that I believe that we're all experiencing has a certain challenge, and that is, how do we win in multiple offers? How can you win more often? If all I brought to you today for the next 15 minutes, and I think I'm only on for a short 20 minutes, if all I brought to you today was some specific things that you could implement regarding multiple offers, and you were to win a couple or three more of those next year, I'm grateful that I was able to help. And that's what I want to do. I want to give you some specific things. This is just kind of a taste of what you get specifically when, and because we're in the trenches doing the do that is difficult to get if you're just listening to trainers. So I believe that it's really important that we should all by now at least, and I'm not going to get into business planning and goal setting. Don't worry. I know that scares a lot of people and they don't love doing it at the end of the year, but we all agree, I think it's important to do. We have some simplified business planning and versions for which you can have your vision set into place. So the 2021, you can set yourself up to have the best year ever. If you go to danplowmancoaching.com, we'll help you with that. I promise I can make it simplified and help you get through that, because I do believe that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I don't want anyone to fail. 2021 could be the best year you've ever had in this business. I believe we work in the best business in the world. I have team members that have had record years this year, and I have coaching clients who've had record years that have had in multiples increased their business incredibly. And we're excited to give you what we do specifically so that you can increase not only your conversion, but your lead gen as well. I think that for multiple offers, one of the biggest issues people are having is not knowing what's going to happen with the market. And I think as realtors, and I've listened and talked to a lot of people, I do this regularly, they're concerned maybe that their buyers are paying too much. And I think that that mindset is it often comes from a place of caring for people, caring for our buyers. And I'm not by any means suggesting we should ever stop caring for people. But if you look back statistically, even to 5 years ago when we had some activity and there was a spark, and I remember specifically because the market had a shift and it had a spike, and it was maybe 6 years ago, but that happened and people were saying, whoa, don't buy a house, stop, wait, don't do it. And buyers were missing out in opportunities. And then it just corrected quite a bit. And then 5 years now, we're way past that. We've gone way past that. So anybody who missed out on getting in that market because of what it was going through technically missed out in all the equity these last 2 years have given us as far as opportunity goes. So I think with regards to helping buyers and helping win in multiples, it starts with our own preparedness and mindset. One of the strongest and best things that a realtor can do today is to be close in touch with their statistics. If you go back over the past 5 years and are able to show a buyer what's happened, and if you go back through your statistics and pull actual listings that have sold in the last even few weeks, and you show your buyer when you're sitting them the list price to sold price, the list price to sold price, you're consulting and you're not selling them, you're preparing them and allowing them to realize and see that, look, if I'm looking for homes for $700,000, I need to be looking at $599 because that's what's happening in the market in multiples. And I think you would all agree that if we educate our buyers properly so that they're not just looking at listings thinking they're going to get listings at list price or just a little bit over, we need to really dissect and be prepared with the right statistics to have our buyers in the right position and prepared in a strong manner so that they know when it's time to do that offer on that house. I'm talking about before you even take them out and show them homes. You have to get these people in place mentally so that they're prepared and ready. So that this is good. This is the kind of things that are going to elevate you from, your 10, 15 multiple offers sometimes on a property. I don't want you finishing in the bottom 5. I want you to at least be a player in the top 3. If you implement the things I'm going to discuss with you today, and I'm going to go through a few, it'll push you to at least the top 2 or 3. And that's ultimately what you want. You want to play the odds, right? We want to win more multiple offers. That's what we want. So I believe that, and I've heard a lot of realtors say to people, just wait, don't buy yet. It's a bubble, it's going to burst. And I don't know that. As a consultant, I don't know what the market's going to do. I don't have a crystal ball that will tell me. If I did, I'd be a multi-millionaire and it would be great, right? But we do not. So don't assume that we know what the market's going to do. Don't put that on people. Report and show them historically, buyers, what it's done in the last 5 years, and if it continues to trend. Listen, if I'm working with a buyer who's telling me they're going to flip the house out in a year, I'm going to have a completely different conversation with them than a buyer that's looking to move into a residence and stay there for at least 5 years. So I feel more confident knowing that if a buyer's going to get into a position of strength, knowing that they have to come in higher than list price based on the data that I've shown them of other listings, what they've listed for, what they've sold for, I know for a fact that I'm going to feel more comfortable and confident knowing that they're coming into at least staying in that home for 5 years. And I want to know what their position is, and they want to know what the market's doing so that they cannot be surprised when it comes time to do an offer. So position your buyers, make sure that you're positioning so they can become powerful buyers, I call them power buyers, and educate your buyers so that they know listing versus sale price and the differential, what it means. So I also love my team and my partners. I talk to them all the time. And, when we get a buyer to the point where they're ready to do a multiple offer and you've got them to the point, or they've got themselves to a point where they can go in what they can go in at, and they're confident and it's strong and it's an educated offer that's going to potentially do extremely well. I love this question. Will you lose sleep if you don't get this home tonight? And you leave somebody with that. If somebody looks at you and says, yeah, I'm good to go now, that's it. That's the importance of being clear that this is it. Sometimes multiple offers, quite often, there's just one crack and that's all you get. So we really need to prep our buyers properly. There's something else that we discovered in this world and few years now of multiple offers. And it's an interesting statistic. We did some history on homes that had sold, and we actually called the agents, the listing agents, and asked for how many multiple offers there were. And we realized that for every offer, it represented a certain amount of money. So if you had 5 offers on a property, it might be $3,000 more that it pushed the price up. But when you had increments of 10 or more, it actually pushed the price higher per offer. Now that's an interesting thing to know. How do you find that out? Well, if you were to pull or look or check the history on your last offer that you did when you were the listing agent, and let's say you had 5 offers that came in on that property. Let's say it was $700,000 and you had 5 offers on that property and it sold for $50,000 more. They would potentially have an influence of 10,000 per offer, let's just say, if I were to divide it. If you did the same thing with other homes that had sold and called other agents and asked them, you can see a common denominator in that. And I find that interesting. Why do I find that interesting? I find that interesting because I can now communicate that to buyers. So one of the first questions we always ask is, how many offers do you have? How many do you expect? And we wait. We try to position ourselves to present our offers last. We try to present in person. And I know people are going to go, what? We're in a digital world. It's COVID. We try to present in person. COVID friendly, do what you can. Do it on a Zoom call. I even consider that in person. Try to get eyes on sellers and their rep if you can. And I'll tell you, it makes a difference. It really does. We're talking about an emotional state when you're buying and selling homes as well. We go as far as working with our buyers to ask them what they love about the home. We have letters written. We give it to the sellers with the offer. There's a lot of things that you can do to help tap into the emotional state of the seller. And again, remember, you may not want to do any of these things. These may seem minor or small to you, but if you do all of these things, it increases and elevates you to the top 2 or 3 being considered, sometimes 10, 15 offers on homes. And this is what my job today is, as I understand, is to give you as many opportunities or tips in how you can win more in multiple offers. These are specific things that we're giving you. So you want to be in the top 2 or 3 position. And I know that we always ask, if one of my team members does lose in a multiple offer, they always ask, where were we? How did we do? And we report that back. We talk, we discuss, we meet Mondays, we meet Fridays. When we meet Fridays and we're doing training together, this is the topic of conversation. How did you win in multiples? What did you do? How did it work? They love the letter from my buyer. My goodness, their dog and our dog are the same breed. They have a dog house in the back. They're waiting for them. It was in the letter. They just emotionally connected. You know what? Our offer wasn't even the highest. They took ours. I believe it was because of that emotional connection. You know, buyers will purchase homes from an emotional state. I want you to know it's very emotional when a seller sells as well. And if you can tap into that, you will elevate your opportunity for potentially winning. Again, I'm going to give you a few things. Use as many as you want. I prefer you win them all. Use them all so you can win them all. Okay, so the last thing, or the last couple of things I want to talk to you about is have your buyers available. Like I said, and maybe not on the Zoom call when you're presenting the offer, but have your buyers available if and when the time comes that we're back to maybe presenting offers face-to-face in the home. And some are still allowing that, by the way. I would recommend your buyer, even if they're in the driveway and can't come in. I'm a firm believer that if they're there and ready, it shows a certain level of intent, excitement, and desire for that home. And I don't know about you, but if somebody's buying something from me and they don't care as much as somebody who does care, I'm going with the guy who cares all the time. And if I can send a message of care just in that, if delivered properly, I will. By the way, that brings up another point. You know, a lot of realtors will tell you that they provide a pre-approval certificate. Well, I know that most people, it's just a pre-qualification